I say really, I just think it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, okay. Did anybody catch the Sylvan Peak Trail report? Or did that come out yesterday or today?
I didn't see one.
I'm like,
all right, finally getting back out on trail after my big trail debacle. Finally cleared by the doctors. Good news is everything's good. Frustrating news is I still have no idea what happened. So, oh well, it's in the back of the rearview mirror. And this trip is just my buddy Ryan and Vince and I are heading up to Timberline Lake. Timberline Lake's got a soft spot in my heart because it was one of the first places I camped in here in the Beartooth after moving up here, and it's just a really nice in and out kind of trip. Just a gorgeous little spot. Lake tucked away in the mountains. Best thing ever. And we're just gonna head up there. Weather forecast is a little rough, but so far been holding out, so we'll see what happens.
The first half of this trail was damaged in a fire in 2008. As you can probably tell from the sparse vegetation and burned trees all around, this trail provides a unique look at how fire can change the local ecosystem as it leaps over the terrain. Humans tend to only view fire as destructive, but nature uses fire to rebuild itself in a constantly changing landscape. Though it can be devastating to see a special place damaged by fire, as you can see by the new growth all around, it is also a glimpse into the power of nature to rebuild itself from the ashes.
So the last time I was here, we were coming down, and the area just behind me on the trail, we got charged by a female moose and a calf. And I remember we were coming down, and the guy that I was with was right in front of me, and all of a sudden he turns around and his eyes are super big, and he's like, "Moose, moose, moose, moose!" And this moose comes blowing through the bushes behind him. And yeah, that got our attention. Okay, so that rock has some historical significance for me, because that is the exact moment that I came up with what I call the magazine test. And I'm sure my partners are gonna really love hearing the story for the second time, because I just got done telling it. But my first year living out here, back when I was still basically just a flatlander from Ohio, I decided very early in the season to hike up this trail solo. And I'd gotten a late start and got up to this point thinking I was pretty close to the trail, or the lake. I wasn't. And started encountering a lot of snow. Never been on this trail before, so I was having a hard time finding where I was going. And so I sat down on that rock, got a couple drinks of water, and that was when I first heard the crack of thunder in the distance. And I thought to myself, you know, I've read this magazine article and it doesn't end well, so I'm gonna go back to the car. And so I hightailed it down. Sure enough, right as I got to the parking lot, big old storm hit. Big old gully washer storm. And yeah, ever since then, that is my test for whether I should turn back. If that magazine article sounds like a bad one, it's time to turn around.
Got my home set up for the night. My Hilltop Packs mat that Ben made for me with my Hilltop Packs boot kit right next to it. And since it might rain, a book to read. Well, we have made it to camp, and we were listening to some thunder boomers over in the distance there on the other ridge over there. It's definitely getting our attention, but so far pretty nice up here. Found a nice little campsite. Just gonna probably sit around, maybe get some food here in a little bit. Ryan was awesome and brought up some Scottish Ale, Red Lodge Ale, Scottish Ale, which is going to be amazing. So Ryan officially wins the MVP award for this backpacking trip. And yeah, we're just prepared. This is my favorite spot up here. It's kind of tucked away, so we're not too exposed if the weather does turn. I chose to bring the X-Mid on this one, since if I have to spend a lot of time in the tent, I'm not in a small area, which is nice. And yeah, just good to get out. It was a great hike up. Had a lot of fun. Always enjoy hanging out with Ryan and Vince, and of course Spirit, the adventure dog, just chawing away at a stick there. So one of the interesting things about this site is the first time I was up here, that Spirit, that particular trip was also one of the first times I recorded video of a trip and did some commentary like this about the trip. And I posted that on my Facebook, and I had a bunch of friends that encouraged me to keep doing that. And ultimately that became Everyday Backpacker. That was how I decided to start my channel. We went on another trip later that summer, which is the first trip video on the channel, which is still on there, even though the video is super cringy. It does still exist, and you can go back and take a look at it. I don't have any of the footage of that particular trip. I have some still photographs, I think. Maybe one day I'll share those on a post or something. If I can find some of the video, I'll post it, but again, it's looking back, it's a little terrifying. A lot has happened in the last 6 years and come a long way, and still really enjoying it. I wouldn't continue to do it if I didn't enjoy it. I know this summer has been a little bit of a break because of everything that happened, and I'm getting back in the groove, getting back into the excitement of it, kind of coming out of my little funk there. And so yeah, it's just good to get out. And like I said, this is a fun place that is very special to my heart. And we're camping in the same spot, and we camped on that trip, and just enjoying the views here. And it's good to get out again. I needed this. In the words of my good friend Jim, this is my happy place. It's a rainbow. What does it mean?
Portrait video.
Spirit,
feels good.
you're doing a good job posing, Spirit.
20 minutes of sun, of direct sun. Yeah, that's all fresh snow up there.
Absolutely gorgeous.
On the left, I think that
Yeah.
triangle on the right is
Yeah, that's a big patch.
pulled over.
But that stuff on the left of the pillar for sure.
Yeah.
I was looking at the radar yesterday, and this whole area was getting pounded by snow, the whole plateau.
Hi, Vince.
Peak.
Hey.
Hey, Ryan. How's it going?
Good. Can't complain.
Having fun?
Oh yeah.
You got a rainbow
Fine.
behind you.
I know.
You look
We're
very
happy it's not
majestic.
dumping on us, and we're happy
We've
with
got
that.
sunshine finally.
Definitely happy with that.
You realize it's gonna dump on us now.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. It is a dreary, wet morning for sure. There's some new snow above us. It rained all night last night, and apparently we all got pretty wet, varying degrees. Ryan got pretty soaked. I stayed pretty dry, but I had a little bit of moisture underneath my pad. I think there was just so much water in the ground, it just pushed through, and stayed warm and comfortable the entire night. I just kind of slept through it and stuff, but we decided that this morning we were just going to pack up and get the heck out of here and try to dry out once we get into town. So yeah, we're just going to hike out and try to stay warm and get everything packed up and get the heck out of here. You know, that's one of the things about the mountains is the weather can change so dramatically, and why it's so important to make sure that you have your layers so that you can fight through. And even though it's still kind of damp, definitely comfortable, and all things are going to work out pretty well, I think. So fortunately it was just an overnighter, and we don't have to worry about camping in wet shit tonight. The clouds and stuff kind of add a mystery to it.
Nasty.
Oh, my tent was garbage. Another problem I have is I live in a small apartment, and it's going to be raining in town.
Yeah.
I have no idea how I'm going to fit all of my stuff and dry it out.
Yeah, I don't have room in my house either. So I'm either gonna have to wait till tomorrow, or luckily I'm never using this freaking tent ever again if it's gonna rain.
Toss
Find
it.
a new one.
I have a feeling my entire apartment is just going to be full of pine needles and shit tonight.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Mountains in the mist. The survivors of last night's deluge. The only one that doesn't seem affected is Spirit.
Still a ball of energy, of course.
I didn't film a whole lot on the way down, just as we didn't talk a whole lot on the way down either. This, I think, is because we were all just wet and cold and just dreaming about changing into the dry clothes we had waiting for us at the trailhead, getting into town, enjoying a nice burger, and just getting warm again.
And even though the weather didn't cooperate, it was still a really great trip. And frankly speaking, bad weather is just part of the fun, albeit type 2 fun. But we ultimately still had a great time, made some great memories, and we'll probably look back on this as a fun time all around.
Made it.
We're there.
Success.
Yay. Where are my dry clothes at?
The trailhead does exist, after all.
Alrighty, well, we made it out. And I think we were all ready to be done. We were cold and wet and grumpy. And, but we found our dry clothes. We've changed. And now we're going to figure out what's next. Maybe head into town and get some food or something.
Oh, no.
But anyways, this trip is officially done. It was exactly what I needed. Great company, great views, not so great weather, but that's just part of the game. Anyways, till next time, keep biking on.